What's up, guys? Welcome to the Make Waves Music Podcast. I'm your host, Alex Golden. This is my co-host,
Victor Cyrus Franklin.
and today we're going to be interviewing Elijah Small.
Let's go. Hey guys.
Hello, Elijah. Welcome to the show.
Hey, hey guys. Hey, what's your name again?
I'm
Alex.
Oh,
Alex,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then Victor,
Mhm.
Trey. Yeah.
So, maybe tell our viewers who aren't familiar with you, because you're kind of small, what you do.
Hey, so I'm Elijah Small. I'm first of all, I'm the president of Make Waves Music. So we're an awesome student-run record label right out of Hamilton High School, and kind of like my job is like being in charge of all these departments. Like I'm like a manager, do a lot of different really cool, dope things with a lot of different really cool, dope people, and I got a really great board behind me. I'm also a solo artist myself, so I release my own music and I sing on my own music. I also produce for other artists, so I've done various different things. We'll probably talk about that later, but I guess I'll just kind of end it with like I do I also play drums, I play bass, I'm in like different bands, but it's all stuff we'll talk about later.
Yeah. So, man of many talents.
Yeah, thank you.
What's your origin story? How did you get started?
It's like different origin stories, I think, because I have different things that I play, but with drums, I just like my grandfather was a film composer and he played piano, and my parents were like, before you play any instruments you have to play piano. So I like studied piano for like a year. I hated it, so I was like really bad at it. But then like my friends all in like second grade, they all started playing like guitar and bass and stuff, and I was like, well, I want to play drums because that looks fun. My friends started playing guitar and bass and all these kind of like different instruments, and they all wanted to start rock bands. And I just was like, I want to play drums because it just seemed fun. And so I just kind of like, I like begged my parents to buy me a drum set. They got me this amazing drum set that later was gifted to Victor. So, but yeah, I've been playing that for like a decade, and then I got a new one like 2 years ago. Super hyped about that. Then with bass, it was just like a necessity for bass players. And with production, honestly, it was like my friend, he started like doing like Minecraft parodies, and he'd be like, dude, you got to listen to this. And I'd be like, how did you make this? And just like, it kind of blew me away that like, because like recording and just like producing seemed like such a far-fetched idea that was just going to be like impossible. And then like seeing somebody do that, that's another amazing thing about this label is I feel like a lot of the artists on this label, like they come into it and they're like, oh, I'm going to have somebody produce for me. But then they see like these producers and they see the drive and stuff like that. And there's so much talent and skill. And they're like, oh my God, like I can't even believe that people our age are able to do that. Like I've planned so many events, and I've just like, I've just been like sitting in the back, and like somebody that I don't know will be like kind of sitting there who's like friends with one of the other artists, and they'll be like, they'll like be talking to each other, and they'll be like, dude, I can't believe like somebody our age was able to plan this. It's like honestly inspiring, and like that shit's awesome. It means like I did my work. So
How did you start like playing these instruments, like taking it a bit more seriously, eventually moving to like bands and stuff?
So I like for a year, for like a little under a year, I had this like random drum teacher, and then I switched over to School of Rock. And so I was like a School of Rock kid, and I was doing all like these performance groups and stuff, and they'd always have us playing at these little venues and stuff. Like sometimes we played at the Mint a few times.
Yeah.
And I was like in the house band there from when I was really young, and I was like literally my Saturdays would be like 10 a.m. I would start at like literally 8 a.m. I'd start at School of Rock, and then 8 p.m. I'd be done with School of Rock. So I'd be there like 12 hours on Saturdays. It was like I loved that place. And then you just kind of grow out of things. Like I got older. It's for kind of younger people, and so in middle school I kind of like stopped, and I started being in this band Swan Dive. We played like a lot of like cool shows and stuff like that.
Where'd you meet the Swan Dive?
Yeah, I think I've heard of Swan Dive before.
Where'd you meet him though?
Swan Dive, I have some of them. I have like people like Riley, like our lead guitarist and singer. He like I've known him since preschool. And,
oh really?
And like and honestly probably even before that. But with like people like Sebi, who's the other guitarist, like I met him at School of Rock. Max, our drummer. Initially we had this other band called Bounty, and then it became Research and Development, and then it became Swan Dive. But Bounty and Research and Development, I was the drummer because we didn't know Max very well. Like
Mhm.
he just kind of had like he went to different schools. We never really communicated with him at School of Rock.
Mhm.
But when they were all a year older than me, when they started at Hamilton, they were like we need another drummer. And so they got Max, and then when I came, they had already had Henry, who's this awesome bassist. He goes to Berkeley
yeah.
and stuff now.
Uh-huh.
But when Henry graduated about 3 years ago, I was kind of put into the role, and it's been super fun. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've been playing music with all those guys and like rotating bands for like 7 years.
Mm.
So
Swan Dive, legendary, Make Waves band.
Yeah. They really started it all, you know.
Mhm.
now Rend started it all. They're the legendary ones.
Who?
Rend, they're like the band before us. They were like this weird screamo metal band. Well, I think if I'm talking about Swan Dive and like legendary stuff, I hate to say that because we're just like a high school band, but like I think that what we kind of were doing that really inspired a lot of people was the event planning and the
Right.
booking and the stuff like that. That's where
Mhm.
it's like I've gotten very good at that, and also I think a lot of the time these artists were super like these other bands in the high school scene were just kind of like they didn't like they were having trouble getting shows, and they were just waiting for people to ask them to do shows, and we were like, well, there's so many venues around Los Angeles, and because of School of Rock, we know that we can play them. It's not like it's just impossible. I don't really get why like people were so scared to just reach out and be like, hey, like let's email the Mint. Like I wonder if we can do something, or like let's email the Smell. But Swan Dive ended up being the first to pretty much do all of them. We were the really like the first high school band to do the Mint. Then we did the Smell. We were like the first like high school band like in our scene to do the Smell. First high school band in our scene to do like the Roxy and the Troubadour and all these other venues. And it's just been like such a ride, man. Like playing the Lodge Room is like that was kind of like a big deal for us. Playing the Troubadour was crazy for us. Playing the Roxy was like built up our fan base a lot because we got to play with Laundry Day, and then we can now get recognized at certain things, so that's kind of fun. But yeah.
When would you say you began to like, because I know you've been working on your solo stuff even while Swan Dive was happening,
Mm-hmm.
but did you ever feel like you were going away from Swan Dive, or you were just like growing a new branch?
I think when you're friends with people for so long,
Mm-hmm.
like with a lot of the Swan Dive guys, there can be a lot of heightened tension between the members. I don't want to. I'm not gonna get into that, but there definitely was like there was definitely moments of tension where I think all of us have at one point considered like, do I really want to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Like whether it be, I mean, like just whether it be like tension or maybe like for Max, a lot of the time it was like, it's such a pain to move the equipment, and he's
Yeah.
getting no help from people.
That's fair, yeah.
And so it was just like, what do we all want to do? There was definitely moments where it was like, I really like would be at Swan Dive practice. I'm like, I don't want to be here, but also like at the same time, like I found ways to do my own music outside of Swan Dive and produce my own music outside of Swan Dive, and it took me until I started releasing it to really finally feel comfortable being in Swan, like to feel like extreme comfort in Swan Dive, because I felt comfortable in Swan Dive, and I didn't start releasing music until like last year, but like when I did start releasing it, it felt more like, okay, like this is like cool. It's like people know what I do alone, and people also know what I like doing it in a collective. So it gave me a way of outletting two very creative sides of me, or two very creative genres of me, where it was like one of them was more like kind of alternative rock, post-punk, and one of them was more like dance groove, kind of like, I don't know, like atmospheric and like even like hip hop sometimes.
Yeah.
So
How did you get started with like that, like before Swan Dive?
with like the hip hop stuff, I don't like. I honestly, my dad would always just play me like. My dad's been DJing since the '80s, and he was like the first like DJ who like in his area who was doing hip hop and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I was just introduced to like a whole world of sample based hip hop and all that kind of stuff like when I was super young, and like so when I did start producing and stuff like that, it was all like sample based. And like my favorite producers are like, you know, Madlib and Jay Dilla and stuff like that, which I know is like comp basic, but also like Madlib is like easily my favorite. I've just like listened to all of his music. I've studied it so much. And like MF Doom is like my favorite rapper and also like amazing producer. And just kind of like listening to the ways that they manipulate samples and use them and stuff like that. It just, and like Tribe Called Quest too, like it just taught me a lot of like like this is what makes a good song. This is like just because like the sample works doesn't mean it's good. Like ways of like taking samples and like making them sound completely different, or like maybe like I like this modern pop song that like doesn't use a sample. How do I use a sample to make it sound like that? Because when I first started, I just wasn't good at writing melodies, which is something that I got better at. But
So, can you think of a moment where, like, you were feeling creative block, or you just thought maybe I should quit, and like, how did you get over that?
yeah, so about 2 years ago, after I went to Interlochen Arts Camp over the summer, like actually 3 years ago. It was right before school started back up, my sophomore year, and I was like, I had like at camp, I was like in a bit of a creative block, but also like I was working with a lot of people, so it was okay. But I was just kind of writing a lot of melodies, like I wasn't really doing full beats. And then when I came back, I was just really trying to work on stuff, and it just like I thought it was all good, and then I'd send it out to a lot of my friends from camp, and I'd be like, "What do you guys think about this?" They'd be like, "This is ass." And so I went through this period of just kind of being like, it was motivating in the sense of like I wanted to get so much better, and like it was weird because like my friends, you know, at home a lot of the time they'd be like, "This is great, this is dope," but then like the people who actually knew what they were talking about and the people who actually were good at producing were like, "This is lacking a lot of factors." And so when I really just focused in on it, and one of the big sampling things I did, I figured out was something I call stacking, where it's like you take melodies and you like stack them up, and it kind of and you like add all these different effects to them and these different filters, so it makes this kind of warping effect, and it sounds a lot like, I don't know if you heard the song "Been Away" by Brent Faiyaz, or like it sounds like a lot of Brent Faiyaz kind of music, and I just kind of like using that, it kind of like developed this whole new production style for me, and it really like it paved a way of me like making beats that were good, that people liked, and then it kind of like it showed me that like, okay, I can do this, like I can be good. And it, even though like a lot of the time I felt like the beats in that era like sounded very similar to each other, like it taught me so much about like you know how to produce drums and how to produce like make a bass sound good and stuff, because you have so many things moving at the same time. Like how do I make it all sound good? So it taught me a lot of mixing things. It just taught me like a lot, and like my beats don't sound anything like that anymore. Like the songs I write don't sound anything like that anymore, but like that era was a very key moment for me in my production.
Now you also DJ. So how did you get into that?
Well, my dad's been DJing since the 80s. My friends and I kind of all started watching Boiler Room videos, and we were like, this is crazy. Like these guys are really sick.
Mm-hmm.
And then my friends Luca and Lucius and I, like they both wanted to DJ, and my friend Lucius and I, like we had started DJing and stuff, just kind of like at my house with my dad's equipment. And then one day we went to this festival, and there was this thing called Despacio happening, and that like honestly one of the greatest moments of my life, because Despacio is my favorite my favorite artists who do remixes, which is Soul Waxed and Soul Waxed. They're like twins from Belgium, and then Despacio is when they do it with James Murphy from LCD Sound System. And so like we were like 5 feet away from them, and the entire room, it's supposed to be as high quality as possible, so they put entirely like it's all Macintosh speakers. They're spinning real vinyl on like turntables and stuff. It's a crazy light show, and it was just like inside at this festival, and like that just like introduced me to like because I think initially I'd always seen DJing as like, yeah, Skrillex, and I'm like honestly I like Skrillex, like he's a very good producer, and I really like his new album, but I have nothing against Skrillex at all. But also like from when I was I think a little kid, and I was like this like edgy little kid who's like, yeah, I like hardcore rap and rock and roll. Like it was just kind of like, it was like going like looking at Skrillex, it was just like, this is supposed to like all my friends, me and my friends had just kind of been like, this is lame, like DJing is lame. And then like when I got older, I was like, wait, DJing is actually really cool, and it's like you're like the cool person at the party and stuff like that, and it's like really fun, and it's just like you get to play what music you want to play and stuff like that, to a degree. So yeah, I kind of just got started. Like when we saw that, my friends and I were like, dude, we got to all DJ together. So we started something called Four, and it's just 3 of us. We've played a bunch of shows and done a bunch of parties.
With Four, like when you're on stage, like how do the 3 of you interact with each other to like get the show like going, you know?
It's rough sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I think like it's a lot of hands. So it's like, and like the thing is with DJing, there's already not a lot to do. Um, like, cause it's like you kind of just like do the mix and then wait to do the next one. When you're doing it solo, there's a lot to do, and it's kind of hard when you're doing it solo and people come up and talk to you. But with four, it was like a lot of the time, like one of us would be doing this mix and it'd be really lit, and then the other one would come over and be like, "I'm gonna do this like random effect," and it wouldn't be like what we were imagining or envisioning for the mix, so it would ruin it all. Or like one of them would like reach over and like we'd be spinning real vinyl, and they'd like hit the turntable and it'd skip, and then you're like, now the mix is ruined, so you just kind of have to like and then like go into like the next song. People will be like, what, okay, and like, so it sometimes it's a pain, but also like it's so much fun when you're doing it with your friends, like over just like doing it alone, like, or even like doing it with somebody you don't like it's not as fun, but like when you're doing it with your friends, it's like it's super sick.
How do you? Because I think one thing about you that's kind of universally known is like your diverse music taste. And like going to a four show, well, we went to the four show. It was just like, even though most of the songs, kind of had the same like vibe or whatever, it was like nothing sounds the same. And I feel like that's evident in most things you do with like producing, playing drums. It's just like where do you get that taste from?
I think it's a hard question to answer, because I think I get it from just like the world around, which might sound a little corny, but like I think it's like it's from my dad, it's from my mom, it's from all my friends. It's especially from my friends. Like I have a lot of friends who just listen to so much music, and are just like, it's just like I do too. So I just kind of was like being around them. I do too, and they introduced me to all these new artists and like kind of like what's happening and stuff. With DJing, a lot of like the music that I DJ is like, I kind of got into it because I got into this guy called The Dare, who's like this dude out of New York right now. And I'm not a huge fan of him anymore, but like, when I found out about him, I was like, oh my God, this guy's super sick. And I got really into it. And then I started like listening to like all the things that inspired him and all like the people inspired by him. And so like, it's just like you like envelop yourself in this little like world and this little scene and stuff like that. I think it's like also like the scenes and stuff like that. You have like in Los Angeles, you have like these artists like The Help and Two Hollis and stuff like that, and then like you start like you dig into them and you're like, oh, Damon Rush and Snow Strippers and like all these other cool people, and like you find out like, okay, Snow Strippers is connected to Lil Uzi Vert, who's connected to Young Lean, who's connected to Drain Gang, and then you're like, oh my God, it all starts connecting, and it's like super cool.
How do you know?
Oh, how do you know what songs to choose?
Yeah.
It's honestly like Serato does a lot of work for you. I mean, DJs always know there's the songs that they're playing. I'm never gonna like mix a song that I don't. I mean, like sometimes like if I'm like doing like, okay, like a bar mitzvah or something, or I'm getting paid to do like a gig, like I'll probably try if and like maybe I have the possibility of doing like add a request and like I can like download it or whatever. I hate DJ requests, but we can figure it out sometimes. But like if I like, usually it's just like I see like I have all the BPMs listed, and I'll put all my like the songs I'm planning on playing into a playlist on the side, and then I can see like, okay, this one is the same BPM as this one, but are they the same vibe? And like I'll just know because I know the songs. So I usually go by vibe a lot, but sometimes you want to change it up.
Yeah.
It's like a big thing with DJing is like a lot of the time you'll see like, okay, like a house DJ, like 30 minutes into their set, they'll do like a old, like there's this guy Sammy Virgi who I really like, and like in one of his sets he's like doing like a UKG song, and then it mixes into like this hella old school like hip hop beat. It's like and then he goes back into the UKG, and it's to mix up the vibe, and you kind of add like this moment of like everybody can chill and like dance in a different way, because if you're all always just dancing at like yeah, like it's just too much. So like that is kind of like a big thing. Just a lot of like, I don't know, like it mainly is just like Serato just does a lot of that. Like for you can press like I don't use sync anymore, but like you could just like press sync and like everything would be the same BPM and sync to each other. So it's just like
So you plan your sets before you play them. Is there any
I don't play my sets before I play them. I used, if I'm doing like a big show, like when Ford did the 1720, we had a set planned, and when we did the Mint, and a lot of the time if I'm spinning like vinyl and it's at like, again, if it's at a show, then I will, or if it's like a specific style, like if I'm like I want to do an entire set of disco. Like, because I don't I have a limited amount of disco in my collection, I kind of got to plan out a set. And it's also like it's hard with the vinyl because you don't know what BPMs everything are.
Yeah.
But like if I'm like just mixing for like a party or like an art gallery or something like that, or like even sometimes the shows, like usually I'll like have a playlist of like 200 songs, and I'll just like pick and choose from those ones as I'm going. Because like you want to let the vibe develop, because
Right.
if the vibe develops, like you can't like plan out how the show is going to go, because like you don't know if like are people going to be dancing at this moment, are people not going to be dancing at this moment, and like you should like be able to like look out and like see what's happening and then make decisions like on the spot.
Yeah.
So, can we get into some rapid fire questions now, Elijah?
Okay.
Okay. So, top 5 artists of all time.
The hard one, but like artists or bands too.
That's fine.
Okay, like MF Doom, Radiohead, shut up. Dude, that's difficult. Those are just like the two that come like right to my head.
Yeet.
No, not Yeet.
No, you.
Not prolific enough yet.
Nah, he's pretty prolific, man.
I gotta say Elijah Small is up there.
Okay.
No,
Ectoplasm.
yeah. No, LCD is up there. LCD Sound System is up there. I was definitely like raised on the Beatles, so like I gotta put them up there for that. But like, Madlib's up there.
So you're a nerd?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we get favorite show?
Regular show. I'm not answering with the other one.
What's the other one?
One Piece.
Okay.
Two Piece.
Favorite movie?
Favorite movie, like probably Full Metal Jacket.
Oh yeah. Second craziest moment at a show for you.
Craziest moment at a show, dude. Like last Thursday, I was at this show and like my friend was on my shoulders and we were in the front and he hopped on stage and then he like pulled me up. So like we were just on stage with the artist and like we were just like, and then like somebody like a bunch of people came on stage and followed us, and then like somebody unplugged this thing and then the guy was like get the hell off the stage. And so we all jumped off, and then he's like, and then the artist was like, okay, if you were on the stage, you're like definitely a that was really funny.
Elijah, what's your favorite artist from Los Angeles, California?
That's not me. Right now, like,
No, you can say yourself.
okay, myself then.
Okay.
Actually, wait, like, what do you mean, like born and raised here, and like they can be like a big deal?
I mean, if they're like known.
Like
No.
Kendrick Lamar, bro. Like, come on, like,
Yeah.
it don't really get better than him.
Okay. What's your favorite rapper or artist from the UK?
Oh yeah, what's your no? They can't be Central C or Pop Smoke.
I was gonna say Pop Smoke, you know.
You can't say pop and forget the smoke.
Nah, it's like, I don't know, like
Nah.
favorite band right now is like in UK
No
is
one.
like
No one
probably,
said band. We said rapper, bro.
oh, rapper.
Yeah,
Mhm.
come on, bro.
Like, bro, Slow Tie's hella gas, but he's not my
Okay, yeah.
he's not my favorite over there though. But he is
He
really
is
gas.
really
I'm like trying to like think of all like the. I'm such a big Pink Panther. She's not a rapper, but I'm such a big Pink Panthers fan.
Oh
right
yeah,
now, bro.
mhm. What about
My
what about
God.
Dave?
I don't really listen that much, Dave.
No, you gotta listen.
This is the goat of UK drill.
Mm.
2.2 just
Okay.
came back.
Oh, I like Pete and Bass too.
Bro.
Yeah, those are my goats.
Can you get a Pete and Bass bar?
I want to get like Pete and Bass on this interview.
That'd go insane.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't think I make it.
I
So
think- yeah.
Elijah, what if you had Central C in the room right now? What would you ask him?
I mean, I'd probably ask him.
Would you ask him? Answer the question.
Guys,
Can you check
can I have a little guidance on the answer to this? Because I don't know
Okay,
what
yeah.
I'd ask him. I think I'd just ask
What's
him,
your
like,
favorite Nike Tech tracksuits?
Yeah, I'd probably ask him. Okay, I probably wouldn't ask him that. Or maybe that, but not in that way. Maybe I'd be like, "What are you gonna be for Halloween?"
Oh, okay.
And he'd be like,
I'll
and he'd be like, or, I
I'll
mean,
go
the
as your
he'd be like,
secret.
"The flip." Why are you asking me that? Like, bruv, I'm on the Make Waves podcast. Like, bruv. And then I don't know. I'd ask him questions like, Bobby. Like, I'd be like that.
Who is Bobby?
Bobby and Rowdy.
Bobby and Rowdy.
Shout out Nux.
Oh.
Nux, please respond. We DM'd you.
Nux, please respond.
Nux,
bro.
please respond.
I was like shaking when I was
Okay.
Like, man.
Anyway, why are you so ripped? You sent me this question, by the way.
I didn't send
Why?
that question.
Yeah,
Yes, you did, bro.
Dude, he's just looking at me and he's wondering. You
why?
know,
Why?
you know,
What's your gym?
let's ask.
Hey.
You know
hey,
what?
hey,
No.
hey,
How about this? Why are sausages so buttery? Can we talk about that?
No, we're
instead?
not talking about
Why-
that. No.
Why?
Well, I don't think.
Why do they? When did butter and sausages start? You know,
Probably in
how do they?
Germany.
I just want to know how they made
We're not
sausages
talking
and how
about
they wrap the meat in that thing coat of plastic, and it's so good and yummy, and
Yeah,
you
it's
bite into
probably
it,
Germany.
and it goes down your throat, and it's so nice.
What's your favorite sausage?
There's this place Standings near my house, and they make like hella good, like they put like cheese and like bacon and shit inside of it.
Okay, that's pretty American.
Pretty American.
So,
But it's Italian.
I go to the European sausage kitchen.
I wasn't asking you.
Okay.
Wait,
Can you shut,
wait.
can you shut up,
Okay,
Elijah?
okay.
Speaking of Europe, you've been outside the country before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Where
also
have you
been
been?
outside the country.
Oh, wait, this isn't your episode.
Oh, right, my bad.
I've been so I've been to like, you know, like over the summer I went with my friends to Europe. So we went to like we went to like, bro, why am I spacing right now? Okay, we went to
He's lying.
Florence. We went to Florence, which I've already been to with my family. I've been to a few other places in Italy with my family, but then with my friends we went to Zurich, and then we went to France, Paris. Which
She a Paris FC game.
I've been to Paris and I've been to Zurich. I've also been to Japan. I have like family friends in Japan. So
Yeah, me too.
my dad and I are like, that's cool.
For real?
Yeah, my
cool.
mom's friend from college.
My dad and I are planning on going back because our friend started like this restaurant, and it's like
Wait,
Brooklyn barbecue plug.
Brooklyn?
Even though like Pharrell.
yeah.
eats
If
there.
you're in Japan, go check them out.
Yeah, like if you want to meet Pharrell, he's probably there with Nigo. So
Okay, so you released "Freaking Out" on all platforms recently. Can you tell us the creative process behind that? I don't care.
on it.
Anyway,
I was actually hoping to hear that answer.
why?
Do you have Face ID?
No, this is my phone.
Oh, okay.
Well, what's your dream collab?
Wait. We need the answer to that question.
Fine.
If I don't answer the freaking out one, I guess, even though you guys don't care. Honestly, I've actually been working on this other song for like a really long time.
Podcast exclusive. He's working on another song for a really long time.
But like,
Oh my gosh.
I kind of was just like working on this other song, and I'm waiting on like somebody to make this composition for me because it's gonna have a string part to it.
Shout him out. Like,
Ooh,
you
yeah,
gotta-
shout him out
Sebi.
right now.
It's
Sebi.
Sebi Block.
Sebastian Block,
do
Makewave's
your-
veteran.
do your
he goes,
part.
He goes to
Come on, man.
MSM, the next up and coming composer. He's super sick. He's just been busy, but like, so I you know, I've been but like that song is like taking up so much time. It's called Bear. Little plug
Wait,
before it's out.
what about the bear? Have you seen the bear?
Shut up.
No, I've never seen the Bear,
He's
but
not
it's the
seen
song is called Bear. And it's probably like my most vulnerable song, but it's also like it's like such a creative shift from like what I've been doing, which is like a reason I kind of love it. But also like it's not gonna like kind of be like the next way my music is gonna sound. It's just kind of like I just like doing whatever I want to do with music, and like I have that freedom because I'm like a kid and stuff like that.
Facts.
With Freaking Out though, I was just like working out one day, and I was listening to this guy George Clanton and his new album, and that's the guy who I went up on stage at his show, and I was like, his album sounds a lot like that stuff, and I was like, I just like thought of like this little ding 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 ding, and then that kind of like was reminding me of like I don't know, like that song New York State of Mind. Like,
oh yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah.
And so I was like, wait, this is kind of cool. And then I started like singing, and I like thought of like some stuff, and I had written this other song like months before that was really bad, and it was like this weird like UKG beat with like these big this big synth on it, and it just didn't really work. But I was like, wait, that synth was so sick, and it's the exact synth I need for this song, like low key. So I like went to that song, and I just took that synth, and I literally copy and pasted it in, and like somehow I don't even know what the planning was on this, but key signature the same, like all the notes were correct, like it just fit like immediately.
Wow.
I just switched around like 3 notes, and I was just like, so it just came. I added a little string thing, I made the drums, and then I just like straight up like I pretty much wrote the lyrics in a day, and then it just took a while to get done because I wanted to like recording the second verse took a while. The second verse took a little bit longer because I didn't want it to just I didn't like know if how I wanted to switch up the rhythmic melody and the vocals and stuff like that, or how I wanted to do the second verse. And even honestly, like if I release, I'm planning on releasing an EP, and when I release the EP, I'm planning on making a few edits to Freaking Out.
When's the EP coming out?
I don't know. I gotta get more songs done for that.
Victor, you know a lot about writing lyrics the day before. Anyway, so what about the past do you hate?
Well, like honestly, like the song is a little bit like about like it's like about like freaking out about a lot of different things that were happening in my life and still kind of are. So like one of the big things was like all my friends were seniors last year, so they're all like gone and graduated for college, and so like I just felt like kind of lonely initially at the beginning of the school year. And on top of that, it was like when we were in Paris, like on my last trip with those guys, like on one of our last days, or one of my last days with them, because I left the trip early to like go see my grandparents. On one of my last days, my girlfriend calls me and she like ended things. And so like that was really hard. So like, and I just remember like one of the days where like it was like when all my friends had kind of like more officially like left Los Angeles. Like I was just sitting like alone, and I was just like, it just, everything kind of just like collapsed, man. And like that like really sucked. So I was like in a pretty like depressive state for like the first 2-3 months of school, but like we out of it because I got friends now, so it's like chill. But it just like that song is just kind of about like, it's also, but I think also like the beautiful thing about that song is it's not about just like me freaking out and like being in a bad mood and stuff like that, because like that would just be whack. Because I want my songs to like have kind of a deeper meaning behind it. And something that I've always felt is that like it's like you should be like it should be okay to like freak out. Like a lot of the time I think people have these panic attacks and they get really stressed, and then they get stressed about the fact that they were stressed or something like that, or like they get stressed about the fact that they were panicking and stuff like that. It's like we need those moments in our lives, and that's why it's like I said in the chorus, I say I'm freaking out, but that's okay. It's like I knew in that moment, it's like if I wasn't feeling those emotions, and like I wouldn't be feeling happy emotions now. So it's like I knew that it's like this is just it was going to be a really hard thing to get over, but getting over it was going to feel super rewarding and lead to a bunch of happiness. And also getting over it meant being happy. So it was like it's okay to have those bad moments, because to have good moments you need to have bad moments. And that's kind of like what that song's about. And yeah, just kind of like being able to just like look at like my life and just like from like a third person perspective and be like man, like everybody kind of just unanimously agrees like the situation I'm in really sucks, but it's like also like there's nothing I can do about it. So yeah,
That's a good song too.
thank you.
Go stream.
That's why I say I miss her cats in it. Because like I do miss her cats because they were kind of lit, but
What was the name of the cats?
I don't remember, man.
Fake. So another question you put here.
I didn't put them.
Yeah. What is your relationship status?
Guys, I'm single and ready to mingle. Yeah, what was that laugh? No, yeah, I'm single.
Okay. So looking at the future, what goals do you have for your future?
I want to be a successful music artist. I got this like big dream, but that'll come. That'll come in time. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I got this like big like dream. But
what?
He has a big dream,
guys. It's like hidden and it's underground, and like nobody's supposed to know about it.
No,
but
yeah, don't let.
Oh, I know what the dream is.
I bet he doesn't.
No, I know.
He hasn't told anyone.
No, I know what it is.
Okay,
So
so
he knows what it is. Anyway, so I want to like I want to be like a successful and famous musician and stuff like that. I think like I like when I was younger I was like, yeah, I'll just be like a little artist with like a little cult following, like that would be cool. But like I don't know, it'd be kind of lit being like a massive artist and like still like getting so big to the point where I have like my own creative freedom on like what I write. Like I hate to like say like these guys because they're big, but like the Beatles, like they just kind of like they got so big that they could just like do whatever the hell they wanted and it would get sold and it'd be sick as hell. So I just want to be like successful enough to like feel the freedom to like do what I want. I think like I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, dude, writing slow songs,
given the
like,
freedom to write.
Like writing like okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
writing like slow songs is like such a blessing, and is like something that I think artists take for granted, where it's like if you're writing a song that like can't be played at like a club or like at like a party or something like that, it means that you're at now a level where like the success that you're obtaining is not through like those kinds of settings. It's from you being big enough to like reach the audience that you want to reach, which luckily we have TikTok to do that now, so it's like a little less, but still like imagine like 50 Cent like trying to like write like slow songs when he was starting out his career. Like he could do it now because he's 50 Cent and he's like a big deal and he could sell a lot of records, but like when he first started, it all had to be about the parties and stuff like that. Like, is he making club bangers? So that's kind of like how I think about like a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. Looking towards the future, do you think you're going to be utilizing many of the new AI, blockchain, Web3 tools?
You like Web
Guys, let me tell you, Web3, I'm big into it. No, I could not honestly really care about Web3 and stuff like that. I thought it might be a good thing, and then I talked to a Web3 guy, and I was like, do you think this is worth investing in? And he's like, hell no, you'd already have to have been invested in it. So I was like, okay, never mind. With AI though, like I think like there's so much potential with AI, and it excites me so much. I think the business aspect is my biggest thing. I talked about this at like this conference we went to, but like you know, when computers were kind of first brought into like the world of music, this job called a copyist really died out, which is like this is a person who just copies down sheet music constantly all day. And I was kind of like what are like industries like being a copyist that are going to kind of die out with AI, and how can I utilize that? And it's not really like a happy thought of like people losing their job, but it's also like for my sake and like for my own personal benefits, it's like a very big financial gain, because it's like how can I like get AI to do like financing work that I would usually need to hire people to do? How can I get like free AI, or even like pay like $50 a month for AI to do that? Like it's like crazy. So yeah.
That's facts.
So what's your dream collab?
My dream collab? Oh, Drake. No. Shut up. I mean, like, if he was still alive, like MF Doom. But
wait, Elijah, do you like MF Doom?
Yeah.
Shut up, bro.
I don't, dude. Collaborating with Damon Albarn is like probably the guy I idolize the most. He's the dude who does Gorillas. They're also probably my top 5 favorite. They're probably in place of the Beatles, honestly. But Damon Albarn was in Blur. He was in the Gorillas, and he did like a few other big musical projects. And he's also like just such a creative guy. He's kind of like, I've heard he's like a little notoriously like not a nice person, but like, one of my like just favorite songs ever was it's called "Do Ya Thing" by the Gorillas, and it's Damon, and there's a 13-minute version on YouTube, and it's Damon Albarn, it's James Murphy, and it's Andre 3000, and it was for like a Converse commercial, and it's so good. And like the full 13-minute version is probably one of my favorite songs ever, and working with any of those three would be like a dream.
All right. Well, I think that's about the time we have. Is there anything you want to say?
Yeah. Shout yourself out.
Yeah, I'm Elijah Small. You can go stream my music under Elijah Small. Look out for music. Look out if you want like beats or something like that, hit me up. If you want me to DJ something, hit me up. Hit me up for all these kind of inquiries. If you want me to produce for you, I do other genres. I don't just do hip hop. I've done folk music. I've done indie music. I've done rock music. I know how to mix and engineer and like all that kind of stuff. I know people who master. Like, hit me up for everything. And if you want like show gigs, like hit me up. I know how to reach out to those venues and plan all that stuff. So,
Fact. Yeah.
Follow him at The Real Elijah Small.
You follow me at The Real Elijah Small on Instagram, and on TikTok at The Real Elijah Small.
Oh yeah.
Also follow Make Waves on TikTok.
Yeah, follow Make Waves on TikTok.
And
official
Instagram.
Make Waves.
Follow Make Waves after you follow Elijah Small on TikTok. And let's get the Teletubby in here really quick.
Yeah, let's get the Teletubby in here. Do you wanna any words?
Follow Smalls. I'm freaking out right now in this costume, but I love that, man.
Okay, now let's get like lo-fi music at the end right here, like in the.
Yeah, can we get YouTube outro music?
This has been the Make Waves podcast,
episode 1. Stay tuned for more episodes. More episodes coming. run podcast
Yo.
all the time. Yeah, hit
Yo.
hit a freestyle real quick.
Yo.
Hit a
Elijah.
freestyle like right now.
Yo, I'm on my game. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like bleeping out all the bad words. that
I'll
you say.
give you a beat. Here it is.
My name's Elijah. I like and rhyme Elijah. I cannot be Elijah. I don't know how to rhyme yet. Okay.